Hello and welcome to MCI Studio. I thought I'd do a quick video of my first impressions of Sonar X1 Producer Expanded. I finally managed to get round to purchasing it. I don't know why I haven't done it ages ago, but I didn't. But now I have, and I thought I'd do a quick video just sort of going over the basics and going through with you my kind of impressions of what I think it's like. I'll try and be as unbiased as possible. My love for Sonar may kind of float to the surface more than someone who's less than enthusiastic about it. But I adore Sonar, so I think it can only be better by the fact they've expanded it. So let's have a quick look, shall we? I've got a loop here sampled. Actually, if I can just say, this is actually a sample. One of many, in fact, royalty-free samples that will be available on my site, mcistudio.co.uk, when it's up and running. It should be about a couple of weeks' time. I should be opening up the site for everybody. So I've got it looped, and we're just going to go over the saturation knob, and one of my favourite kind of additions to Expanded is the new effects chain that they've incorporated. I was really excited to get my teeth into that and kind of find out what kind of effects and sounds I could produce from it. So we're going to delve actually into the effects chain first, because I don't think I can hold back my anticipation. To do it, right click in the effects window and click on effects chain, and you'll notice immediately that you've got this brand new interface. You can double click in this box here and rename the effects chain to whatever you want it to be. But to start with, you need to obviously add an effect. So let's add, no, I don't want that. Let's add, oh, I don't know, where's delay? Let's add a delay. Okay, so what it does, it brings up the box itself. And if you're not familiar with this, it's actually worth keeping this open while you do the rest of it. Because it's in there, but you've got nothing here to kind of alter anything with. What you need to do is to right click again, and you've got a couple of options. You can add a knob, no pun intended, and you can add a button. But let's add a knob. You can obviously rename this. The position is simply the position of, if you have more than one, say you've got a button there and a button there and a button there, it would be 1, 2, 3. So the position would be the position, compared to all the other ones that you've got on here. But at the moment, we haven't got any, so it's going to be position 1. And come down here. And if you've got more than one effect, there'll actually be a whole list of them here, and you can decide which one you want to alter. So the reason why you should have this up, if you're not familiar with it to begin with, is that basically the destination here, all these effects is all the different parts that this knob is going to alter on this effect. So we have obviously delay, got all the delays here. We have all the voices, which are all these here. We have our mix and our output level. But for now, I think let's just add a general mix. We'll click OK, leave it at mix. And you'll actually see it moving as I'm moving this slider here, which is pretty cool. Okay, I'm just going to get rid of that. So I'm going to click play and just have a listen to this. And obviously you can hear the delay happening there. And that's pretty nice, actually. That's quite nice. But that's really nothing special. What's really cool about it is let's add I don't want that reverb. Let's add a Sonitus reverb. And you'll notice here that you can have it to come before or after the previous effect we've just put in there. But you can actually move them around just by clicking and dragging them. So you're actually altering the signal path there, and it is actually going to make a difference depending on which way around they are. But let's have the reverb after the delay, And again, we need to come in here and we need to add a knob. It's going to be position 2 because it's after the effects delay. And we want the reverb. And what do we want it to affect? Let's just have it on that. So if we move the reverb around, let's have a listen. Ah, there we go. It's moving the reverb. There we go. That's actually really quite sensitive. But apparently, all these buttons here are actually ACT enabled. So if you're using some kind of MIDI interface to control Sonar, all this can actually be moved about within your interface. So I think that's actually going to be a little easier to control, because that's really, really sensitive. It really does. It jumps quite a lot. It's actually easier to move that, to be honest with you. So that's a shame. It could be doing. It could be doing with just lessening the. I don't think there's any kind of option to do that. But apart from that, so that's maybe one little downfall. You just need to be careful. If you're using the mouse, you just need to be careful. It's actually easier to move it left to right rather than up and down. It jumps all over the place if you move it up and down. But left to right, you can kind of get a little bit more detail. That's not too bad. Okay. But why I was so excited about this, I mean, it's not demonstrated fully there, obviously, but is if you think about all the different effects that come with Sonar, and there are loads that come shipped with it. Now, if you think of all the different combinations of all those different effects that you can have, that you could have had anyway, but then put them into this new effects chain interface, and the fact that you can have all these different dials kind of altering all the different aspects of all those different effects. So combined with all the combination of effects that you can have, mixed with all the different combinations of knobs and buttons that really do kind of tweak it much more delicately than you could before, you kind of end up with kind of an infinite amount of intertwining effects that you couldn't have before. And that's why I love this interface. And the fact is, you don't have to keep jumping backwards and forwards from effect to effect. It's all here in this lovely, well put out interface. It's very intuitive. And just to top it off, you can actually change the background color if you so wished. I'm actually not quite sure whether or not you can download more. If you know whether or not you can, let me know, because you can. There's like fader caps, like these here, like this here. If I come here, look, there's a fader cap image there, but it's actually just the one that's already loaded. I'm not entirely sure whether or not you can get more. So if you can, let me know, because that'd be quite interesting to know. So there's that. So get your teeth into that if you've got it, because this is one thing that I'm really going to concentrate on, because the possibilities with this are quite simply endless. You can really fine-tune a whole combination of effects now that you just couldn't before. It was nice having them all in one package, before, but you still had to switch between effect. But now it's all in one interface. I love it. So that's that. Just a quick look at that. Now the other major thing that they've done is added this saturation knob. So to bring it up, you need to go to your Pro channel, to whatever it is, to whatever track you want it to alter. Right click in a space, insert module, and there it is, saturation knob. all these modules can be moved around now, and apparently this affects the signal path. So I've heard. So you're actually getting a visual interpretation of the audio signal that's going on here, which is quite nice. I like that. So let's have a listen to this saturation knob. I'm going to click play again and just loop it, and let's have a play. Okay, so at the moment it's on neutral, and let's just up this. And one thing that I've noticed about this is that this knob here, as opposed to the knobs on the effects chain ones, this one really is nice. You can get a lot of detail in this. It moves really well. Again, it moves better if you move it from left to right and right to left rather than up and down. I don't know why, but it just does. And you'll notice that there's this light flashing here. That gets faster and faster depending on how much saturation you're adding, until it's just completely yellow. And you can go to the extreme, which is rather unpleasant, but it depends on obviously what effect you want. But about there is actually really quite nice. It's a warm distortion, and it's actually not peaking either, which is really nice. It's adding the distortion without introducing too much gain, which is cool. I like that. And we have 3 settings here, so let's up it halfway. We have, this is neutral, so now we're going to drop it down to low, back to neutral. There's a very subtle difference there. Let's knock it up to high. You can notice that. So there's a lot of possibilities with that. I like that. It's a nice distorted sound. You can get some awful distorted effects that just, it just sounds crackly and muddy. But this kind of gives it, well, like they say, it gives it a warm, distorted effect. It's lovely. I like that a lot. And I do recommend actually going and visiting softtube.com and have a look at some of their other ones, because they've got some pretty nifty stuff. What else have they done? They've added... Oh, yes. This I was really glad about. Say, for instance, we add an edible orchestral, just a simple instrument track. What they've done, finally, and I'm really pleased about this, is that before, to delete the track and the synth, you had to delete the track and then delete the synth separately. And if you did it in the reversed order, if you deleted the synth first before the track, for some reason it added another track. And I don't know whether anybody else got the same problem, but if you just deleted the synth and left the track alone, for some reason it decided to add another track associated with that synth, and it was bizarre. I don't know why it did that. But now, when you click the delete button, it comes up and says, yeah, you're deleting the synth, but would you like to delete any associated tracks to this synth? So now, with one click, boom, they're both gone. Great. Little things like that really show that they're, they're doing all they can. I love that. That's a really big help, actually, because it was so annoying having to delete them separately. It really was. That's pretty much it. They've allowed you to rename and delete stuff within the browser itself, which is quite handy. Obviously, you can't go renaming stuff that came preloaded, but any kind of custom-built effects and plugins, you can go in and actually rename by double-clicking the name and just typing in a whole new name. That's kind of cool and nifty. And they've got the SoundCloud thingy. I'm really new to SoundCloud. I only signed up today because of this new interface. I wasn't really into SoundCloud, but there you go. Obviously, it's incredibly handy if you are a SoundCloud user. And I will be uploading some stuff now. I think now I've got this. It's actually really quite handy. It connects to your SoundCloud and you get it all in nice one little interface. I like that. That's really cool. So there it is, really. I'm going to really have fun with the new effects chains and seeing all the possibilities that you can, endless possibilities that you can have with that. I think that's absolutely fantastic. And all in all, I really do think £35 well spent. And whatever it is in dollars and euros. So if you haven't got it, highly recommended. If not just for the effects chain, you have to get that, seriously. So MCI Studio suggests you go right now and purchase it. Go now and get it now. And then leave some comments under this video and tell me what you think. Do you think it's as good as I do? I am highly biased because I just adore Sonar. So that's why. Okay, I'm going to hopefully do some more tutorials. I've got a few ideas on some more stuff. If you have any ideas, as always, please do let me know. Comments underneath about the new expanded, and I will see you next time. Have fun creating.